Hello, welcome to Bad at Board Games. My name's Brad Lake, and I'm bad at board games, so you don't have to be. Today, we're going to be talking about my lack of impulse control, connection control, at Gencon. Gencon Haul. So, there's a few of these that are free. 90% of them I bought. So I thought I'd go through these and see what you think. Do you have any of these games? Are these anything of interest to you? I know a few of you are interested, and I realize I just forgot one, but I'll still talk about it. It's up on the table already. So we're going to just get right to it. Stick around to the end, find out what all the games are, and which ones are free, which ones weren't. So let's get right to it. We have one, Dark Overlord. So this is the red box. This is a storytelling game. So you are the overlord, and people get cards about which minions they are, and then they have cards in their deck where they kind of have to say, like, you know, the overlord says, why didn't you go and kill the princess the way I asked? And then they have to play these cards like, well, the horse that I rode in on found a nail, and then it broke its leg, and then that made it his fault because he was the one that gave me the horse. Things like that. So you're kind of trying to pass the buck as you're going about doing this. People who are great BSers are great at this game. People who are not, they're not so good at this game. It's more about sitting around telling stories, trying to make up stories, and everybody laughing as one person's the overlord, and that kind of changes depending on who wins each round, who has the last cards left, kind of thing. And we had a good time playing it. Not too expensive. And a very different kind of game for me. My son picked this up, and we had a fun time playing it. It was hilarious. This is a throwback. Got this at the consignment shop. Battle Ball. I got this. This is kind of like a heartfelt thing for me and my kids. This is like a retail version of Blood Bowl. You had two teams, and you're kind of like some kind of robots, and you know, in armor and all these kinds of things, and basically you're playing football back and forth. It was a great game. Had it forever. We lost a little football at a time. Had the miniatures forever. I think we finally got rid of it, culled it at some point, you know, Goodwill, but saw this, and it was taped up, which isn't great, but it's got all the parts and all the miniatures and everything, so we kind of got this. I think this was like $12. It was awesome. So if you ever see Battle Ball and always thought you might want to play Blood Bowl from Games Workshop, it's a nice, easy one to play, and it's fun. So the next three we're on my hope to get list, I guess. One of you told me about Robotech, this reconstruction, and this is kind of like a coin game. This is a lot smaller box than I thought this was going to be in. I always liked this anime. This is an old one, the Macross Island, but you're playing as one of the four factions in the game, and they're polar opposites. So think of north, south, east, west. Whatever north wants, south wants the opposite. Whatever east wants, west wants the opposite. So you're trying to play some cards and some abilities that allow you to maybe help out your neighbor, but definitely not help out the person across from you that's playing the opposite. So this one will be interesting. It's at least a 2-hour game. So it's kind of like, for a coin game, it's a quick coin game. Root-ish, you know, it's kind of in this middle ground. But I'm interested in learning this. This may be one of the last ones to learn. I'm not sure how difficult this was going to be, but I sat down and talked to the guy that was selling it at the booth. Looks pretty interesting. And like I said, like the theme, like coin games, like Root. And so I'm curious to see if this is something that I'll enjoy. And I should say, I like the idea of coin games. I still have yet to play one. Want to. Lunar Rush. This one was one that was getting, seemed to be getting some hype on BGG and some of the other things right before Gen Con. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna check this out. People were talking about how much fun they were having, at least online. And you've got three different paths to the moon and back, and your corporation's trying to send astronauts and things to the moon and get it back and then get more money. And you can take a direct route, but you can only take one good. You can take a medium length route, take more goods, or take the slowest route and take 3 goods. So I'm curious about playing this. This is a couple hour game, I believe. Let's see. It says 45 to 75 minutes. When I went to the demo of this, she said it was going to take them about 2 hours with the teach. So, you know, I think the 45 to 75 minutes may be a bit generous or very player account dependent, but I'm looking forward to playing this. Barcelona. Looks like a beautiful game. I love board and dice. They come out with something new. As long as it's more of a Euro game, I'm definitely very interested in it. So, curious to see how this one plays. These all sold out at Gencon. I think Lunar Rush all sold out. Gencon was selling out a lot of the new games for sure. Tons of them were gone. I think Barcelona might have made it to the weekend before they finally sold out. So I got that. Looking forward to that one. Got Robo Rally. So this is the new Robo Rally, and it's from Renegade. I asked the guy, and he actually watches the channel, so if you're watching the channel right now, I did come back and pick it up. Kept trying to stop by and talk to you, but I don't know where he was and out and about, but I was like, is this one better than the other one? And he was like, yeah, I hope so. I didn't ask him if he's the one that helped redesign it. My bad. But it's, you know, another iteration of Richard Garfield's game, Robo Rally. They ran out of the add-on packs that they had. So I'm looking forward to sitting down and playing this with Toph. It's got some new maps. We started to play it at one of the open gaming areas, and then everybody's kind of like, want to go eat and hungry and stuff like that. So I didn't get a chance to actually play it there, but our game group likes this game a lot. We just think it's kind of like a fun, mad chaos kind of game. So this shouldn't take too long to get to the table, but it's just going to depend on, are we going to get this? We're going to try to learn some of the other heavier games beforehand. Already did a video on this one. Star Wars Shatterpoint. A lot of fun. We really enjoy it. But we do change a couple of the rules to make it more of a skirmish game. This is skirmish light. Amazing miniatures. Enjoying painting them. It's going to be a cool game. Glad I got it. I don't need everything. My son may end up getting everything, but I'm glad we've got the base game, Obi-Wan and General Grievous. That worked out for us. So Star Wars Shatterpoint. Pretty cool. If you haven't seen that video, might be at the end of this video. Maybe I'll remember to put the link up here or down in the description. Maybe, but it was last week, so it should be the one right before this. My other son likes naval combat games. Like Gencon, he goes and plays this old game that's like 1971 by Gary Gygax, who created D&D, and it's this, 6x6 small miniature naval battle game, and he's usually pretty good and is usually winning at that game. So he picked up a couple of different naval battle ones. This one's called Oak and Iron. We haven't had a chance to play this one, but it's got smaller ships, and you're measuring and playing cards, and there's going to be different kinds of ships and different levels. So I am curious to play this. I've played a couple other games with him, but this one's more of a historical naval battle in the age of piracy. So probably some pirates and probably some either the English or French. Not sure who is hunting the pirates at that time. But Oak and Iron, we'll see if we can at least give him maybe a rapid review on that after I get a chance to play it off into the future. These, so far, all paid for. I paid for all these. Aristia. So this is a little bit older game. It's by a company that does skirmish games, the more complicated even skirmish games. I'm forgetting the name of the main system that they had. They had this on sale. We picked this up, and you've got a board, and you've got, it's another skirmish game, but you got a hex board, and each character you have has different abilities, and you're trying to push and get capture the flag kind of things, and that flag's moving depending on who won that round, it's going to change to another spot on the map. And so you're constantly trying to move and use the abilities you have. And then you can draw cards to get more attacks and movements and things, that depending on which characters you're playing. So this one was fun. We've played it a couple times already, and I enjoy it. I can't say it's like the greatest game ever, but it was definitely fun. And in fact, it was like 50% off, made it even more fun. This one, I lied. This one was not Gen Con. This one came while I was at Gen Con. This is the Kickstarter I ordered, Nightmare Cathedral. Love the artwork. I had reached out to Board and Dice on this way back when they were, it was sitting on GameFound's page saying coming soon, like 6 months. And they're like, yeah, we'll think about giving you something. They never did. But unfortunately, this is another one I purchased during the area control purchase frenzy, and finding out that I don't really care for area control. So we'll find out if I like this area control or not. I like the look. It's a Spanish Gothic artist, and you know, it's not Geiger by any means, but it's like all creepy, and you know, I don't think it's intended to be horror, but it definitely has this like very horror-ish vibe going on about it. And so curious to play this and see if it can be an area control that stays in the list. This one is cool. This is another, so you can tell we got board games and army skirmish battle games. This one's called Judgment Eternals Champions, and this is another like Warhammer 40k, but you've got a map with a grid and everything, and how you're moving it, and it's not like full armies, but you've got, you know, your chits, and it's kind of board game-ish. But some of these miniatures are, this company makes miniatures, right? So they have created a game, and my son picked this up because he wants to do some reviews on different kinds of skirmish games and everything. But the miniatures that they make are really slick. You don't have to assemble them; they're all already assembled. And if the game's any good, it'd be pretty slick. I'm very impressed with the quality of what they've got going on here. And I'm not 100% sure if they make miniatures for other companies, but that seemed like it. Or they kind of make miniatures that are 40k adjacent that you could use in place of 40k creatures or fantasy creatures. So like they had big monsters that you could use as like a bloodthirster, or some of the other characters that are in Warhammer 40k and Warhammer Fantasy. All those purchased. These free. So I'm not sure if I'm going to like these from AEG, but we shall see. They're kind of like, I'm not sure they're up my alley in any way, shape, or form, but AEG did a little meet and greet, and they had like a room, and a few of us, I got to meet Paul Grogan, which was kind of cool. I didn't know anybody else. They had bloggers and writers and some other things like that, but it was pretty neat. They were talking about the Kickstarter that just came up with King, I can't remember the name of it, something Quest, and they're gonna, I think they're coming out with a Kickstarter where it'll be like another re-implementation of the starter box, so you can kind of get into that game, which is hard to get into. Kind of curious about it. Thunderstone Quest, that's what it is. But it's another one I was like, do I want to pay that much money for a starter box or not? You know, I'd love to be able to try it before actually like committing to something like that. This game we got from Adam Apple Games. They had a couple games. I was talking to Ryan Lambert, who made Planet Unknown. Great guy. Definitely, like, I've emailed back and forth with him. He's the first guy that ever gave us one of our games. Very first publisher, first designer. It was very cool. He was one of our sub 500 subscribers. Won our 500, I think, or 200 gift card. So they had a couple. One was more of a party game, which me and Toph aren't so much into party games, but this one was called For Humors, And I am not the Middle Ages history buff, but the four humors are what the doctors back in that time thought was in your gut, and it would affect your mood and your disposition and how you did things. And like there's yellow and red, and so the bile that was in your gut were the four humors. And this is based around that. We've already played this a couple times. It's a nice little game. Me and my sons, I think we've played it 3 times already, so I'll probably end up doing a rapid review on this. This is a fun little game. It can get a little rough depending on the objective cards. Sometimes they don't line up real well, and so you could get 3 objective cards that are really rough that we found. But if the objective cards kind of like work with what you're getting, fun game to play, quicker than it says on the box. We played it 3 and 4 players each time. This was kind of cool. This would not have been a game that I would have purchased, but I'm glad I got to demo it with the designer, and his name was Charlie McCarran, and very surprised about that. Now, AEG Smash Up. This is an expansion. I've never played Smash Up. I don't have the base game, so I'm not sure I can play this one. Number Drop doesn't seem like something I'm interested in. Sorry, AGG. They're very nice. I really appreciate what they're doing. They're going to help us maybe give out a few more games. Deep Dive, a little penguin game going on here. Looks cool. Point City, the successor to Point Salad. And then we have Waffle Time. So, if you're interested in receiving any of these, comment down below. Maybe I'll try to do like a little giveaway. Or maybe if I'm just in the mood, you actually comment and be like, I want to try that one, I will send it to you. So, AEG, really like their games for the most part. Really think they've got a good program going, helping content creators and help themselves as well. And they produce some pretty cool games. So let me know what you think about this. What do you guys and gals think? I didn't get a lot of free games. I pay for most of my games. Not big enough for that yet. One day, I hope to get all of the free games. I'd be lying if I said any different. However, I'm not. So, or may never be. But I do enjoy doing all this stuff. Do enjoy talking to you. And we'll be going on. I'm going to do a culling game. If you notice, I've got a new piece of equipment here for the sound. Hopefully I'll be able to start making the sound even better. I've tried a lot of different things, and now we're trying this thing over here. So I've tried to sell a lot of stuff, board games and not board game stuff, to afford this. If you would like to donate to help pay for this, I think there's a thing, or you could just PayPal us. That'd be fine too. I'm begging for money. Nah. That would completely be on your if it's an if you want to thing. But I'm doing pretty good about selling some games, and got it almost paid for, which is cool. What do you think? Do you like any of these games? Do you have any priority? Which ones should I get learned first? Oh, and Great Western Trail. Forgot. Great Western Trail, New Zealand. Already played it. Gonna get it played again. Hopefully next weekend, maybe I'll get a review out on it. Toph is starting a master's program, so I don't know if Toph will be able to play it enough times, but hopefully we'll be able to get a game in with Toph. And there's a lot going on in that game. It's like almost easier, but like more stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I've already seen people say it's like the best Western Trail game of the 3 that have been out, second edition, Argentina, and this one. And I would say, just preliminarily, if you like something more complicated, you're going to probably like Argentina. This is a great standalone version, and it kind of has a Rails to the North, much better implemented. Like, so think Great Western Trail with the Rails to the North expansion. However, it's a better version, like hands down. And they've got different mechanics on how you're buying your workers, and then there's like bonus tiles that you can get that you're buying. There's a lot of stuff going on with the sheep, and you can sell wool, which is different than selling the sheep, and there's different things you can do. So you almost have 2 tracks that you're delivering on, or can. But There's a lot, and it's pretty cool. So I just need to get a few more plays in it so I can give you a good breakdown of it. But preliminarily, it's holding up to all the rest. So anyway, that's it. Just remember, no matter how you play, whether you play solo, with family, or friends, enjoy whatever you are bringing to the table. Have a great night. Bye.